hey friend, and then you pull it open like this. I love you more than French fries. So it's a fun fold that will sit out. But so what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to pull my grid paper up here so I have a good stamping surface, and I'm going to show you how I made this card real quick, which we might end up doing it in a class. I don't know. We'll see. But I just thought for tonight I would just show you how quick and easy it is to do this. This fun fold. So I did a Christmas card like this years and years ago when my kids were little, and I actually, this part was a photo of them. Or actually, I don't know. I think in the front was the pickup truck. And then when you opened it up, I think I had a photo. I can't remember. I'll have to find it. But it was very similar to this idea. So I've got my pieces and parts over here. I've already got this cut and prepped just to make things go really quick tonight. I did a lot of this ahead of time. So this was just 8.5 by 5.5. I scored it in half. And then I used one of the dies out of this Nestled Essentials dies. If you don't have this one, why not? It is, it's been my go-to now, especially since like, what it was, Stitched Shapes is like retired now. So I used one of the dies out of here. So I ran it through my Stampin' Cut and Boss machine, used the die and cut that out. And then I ran it through again with that wavy folder. Okay, just on part of it. So die cut it first, then ran it through the folder, and that's how I got the base of my card, okay? And then I cut a few more of the dies, that same Nestled Shapes dies. This is the same size that I cut out, and then the one size down. And then I've got a 6 inches wide by 5.25, and I need to score this at 2 inches, and this is the 6 inches wide. Let me make sure. Yeah, 6 inches wide side. I need to score it at 2 inches and then slide it down to 4. So it's 3 2-inch panels basically. So let me move that out of the way. Okay, and then this is just going to end up getting accordion folded. So let me score that really nicely. And like this. Like so. Actually, it's going to be this way. No, it's this way. Okay. All right. And then I've got a couple other little pieces. I've got this little piece that's going to be where I'm going to stamp my Hey Friend on. So let me pull that over. And I'm just using our black Memento. I always say Memento. It's really Memento. I don't know. But I'm going to stamp it over towards the... I got to get it. Hopefully I might have to stand up so I can see what I'm doing. Over towards the right. Because I'm going to take my scissors then and cut a little banner on the end. So I'm just going to like do that. I just sliced it down the middle, and then I'm going from the end to the end into the middle where I sliced it. So that's going to give me my little banner. And then I've got a couple little pieces of scrap that are like, I think they're 5/8 by like 2 inches, and then I scored them in half. Okay, and these are just scrap. This is something you don't have to do, and typically the design of this card doesn't have these. This just flips, but I have found if I put some reinforcement, if you can see it, that little strip there and that little strip there, if I put reinforcements, it just stays so much better. I don't have to worry about it flipping out. So I like to add that to my cards. So I'm going to let's get our stamping done. So on the front of this card, we've got this little guy, and again, I'm just going to ink him up and just stamp him right in the middle of this, like so. And then the other thing I'm going to do while I have the ink out open is, so this is going to end up getting glued into the back, just that back panel is going to glue there. And it's going to end up opening up so that this guy, just kind of want to show you what's going on, is going to be about here, like this. So I want the other guy to be about in the same place, like they're talking to each other. It doesn't matter totally. They could probably go downhill, but I'm just kind of wanted it to be kind of in the same area. So let's say it's the center there. I'm just going to go over and stamp here. Hopefully that made sense. It's just a line, you know, to line it up. So those are the black things that I have. Let me see. And then the words. Let me go ahead and stamp that. This is the I love you more than, and we're just going to stamp that right above him on this back panel. And then French fries. I love you more than French fries. It also has chips. Or you could write something, but the French fries is kind of cute. He's cute. He's a cutie. So anyway, so that we're going to close that and get that out of the way. And then I'm going to do some coloring on here real quick. I'm going to start with this back one. So I'm using our Stampin' Blends. I made a loud noise here. So I'm starting with, I've got the, what is it, smoky. So I've got the dark smoky, which I'm going to color in his tips of his wings. You can really color these however you would like. I kind of tried to look up online what it would look like. And everyone seems to have colored them a little different. So, you know, it's your little seagull and color him how you want. And then I'm using more of the detail side. And then I just took it and added kind of almost like an outline. I'm doing a terrible job because I'm on camera, of course. And then I used the blender that we have and just kind of blended it a little bit. And it kind of gave it more of a 3D look. I don't know if you can see that happening on camera, but it kind of, can you tell that? It's just making it look a little more 3D by doing that. So there he is. We're just going to leave it at that. And then I used, because this piece, accent piece that I'm using was Flirty Flamingo is what I used. So I'm going to also use that to color the beak and the feet. Typically I would use something that's a little more like in the orange family, but I kind of like the Flirty Flamingo with that Coastal Cabana. And then I also forgot to get out the French fries colors. Let's see. There we go. Ta-da! And then the other thing I'm going to do is he's got a, with this one I'm going a little lighter than the Coastal Cabana. I'm going to go with Pool Party. And I'm going to pull this open so I can see what I did. Okay, so I'm going to use this stamp. I guess I should have done this before I put French fries. Should have been down a lot lower. Messed up on that, but that's all right. And then this, I'm actually going to take this all the way across this card. And in addition to that stamp, just all the way across. And I really only have to go about part way into this one over here. And I might add just a little more right there. There we go. It's not too bad. So it's going to open up. So let me go ahead and start to assemble this, and then we'll finish this up. Oops. So I'm going to add adhesive to this whole back panel here. And then that's going to be added. Ugh, got ink on my, or stamp. Ugh. All over my fingers. I said ink, but I meant the glue. So that's going to glue on to that panel like that. And then when this is closed like this, the adhesive is going to go just inside this panel right here. So I'm going to go ahead and having trouble with my, I think I need a new holder because mine is so goopy. There we go. It's finally working. All right. So I just have the glue just inside that window, and then this is going to sit right in there because I use the exact same die, so that this is going to flip out here like so. Okay. And then this was where I decided to use these, because you really could just leave it like that, but it's sometimes, see how it's kind of floppy? I never really like that. So I am going to add these 2 little pieces of reinforcement like so. I probably should have used tear and tape, something really strong. So really, I'm just going to stick it on that one, and oops, I was like, where did it go? And right here. And as if it's shut, and then press it on there. And so now, see that? It just keeps this from flopping around, so it just is just a nice opening that you just open it like this. And then this one is going to get colored and put right here, and by the magic of television, I've got one done already since you saw me color the one on the inside. Let's see. Oh, look at that. I did really good. It lines up pretty good. That's the reason I kind of wanted to line that up, is just to have it visually connect there. I'm actually really impressed with myself. So I'm going to add this little guy to the front, and I just colored him the same as I showed on the inside. And I'm going to attach him. And then I've got my Hey Friend, and I'm just going to use some dimensionals on there. And he's going to go... Actually, you only need one, it looks like. So I'm going to stick a dimensional right about here. And just pop it right here. And it's going to hang off the edge there. Let me close this so I don't get this all over me. So here we go. Get this one out of the way. There he is. He opens up like this. Hey friend, love you more than French fries. Isn't that adorable? I just loved it. And relatively quick and easy. It's just a fun fold. And this literally could be anything. You know, it could be a birthday cake, and you open it up and you have a message. You could stamp things all the way through here if you'd like. It really, it's just endless what you could do with it. So I think on the first card that I designed, I even had French fries. There's little French fries in this thing right here, and I had those kind of scattered through here, but I liked this little beach scene instead. So